Hello and welcome. Today we are building awareness of the coffee market and fair trade practices with Amber Alviola, Justin Colvin, Taylor Johnson, and Alec de Watteville. According to the International Coffee Organization, the popularity of coffee has risen to become the most widely traded tropical commodity with an estimated $15.4 billion in exports and more than 93.4 million bags of coffee shipped during the 2009 and 2010 sales years. There is a debate regarding fair trade and international fair trade agreements that is simmered far below the surface of pop cultural awareness. Though the majority of coffee is purchased by developed economies such as the United States, the debate's main focus is far removed from the first world. The Fair Trade Coffee label promotes premium prices for consumers while claiming to help coffee farmers escape their impoverished conditions and construct schools, roads, and hospitals in addition to more coffee facilities. However, fair trade practices remain ineffective due to massive outbreaks of coffee disease, increased intra-industry competition, as well as several requirements and certifications that most low-income farmers cannot meet. Colleen Haight, a professor of economics at San Jose State University in California, notes that the fair trade agreements consider the landowners of these rural farms, and not the second-class migrant workers, to be the recipients of additional income. After labeling fees, licensing fees, and other business expenses, fair trade coffee has little benefits left to pay the migrant workers who must produce and supply the coffee to consumers worldwide. In hindsight, fair trade is an artificial term used for rent-seeking behaviors to increase the perceived value of the goods by customers and generate larger profits. Phil's Coffee, a competitor of Starbucks, sells 1 pound of fair trade Peru coffee for $20 compared to other varieties for $18. The socially conscious consumer would ideally purchase fair trade Peru coffee, knowing the additional charge will benefit the farmers. Although fair trade appears to be a choice that benefits impoverished farmers, it is a misconception and actually leaves farmers more impoverished. Growers that belong to the production cooperative are paid the minimum price for all coffee that is sold through fair trade channels. This minimum price, commonly called a price floor, works to subsidize fair trade coffee. If the market prices rise higher than the price floor, the grower receives the market price along with a premium of 5 cents, which is sent back for investment. In order to receive a payment, however, growers must pay to become certified, join a democratically managed cooperative, agree to certain standards such as paying fair wages to coffee laborers. In 2004, Starbucks collaborated with CAFE, the Coffee and Farmers Equity Practices, and in 2014, Chick-fil-A partnered with Thrive Farmers to promote better standards for these migrant farmers. Thrive, however, picks up where fair trade practices leave off and eliminates the middlemen that split farmers' profits. We must work to raise social awareness about the unethical exploitation of coffee growers and educate individuals worldwide that the fair trade label coffee is just a socially pleasing idea that is no better than the regular unorganic coffee on the global market. Instead, individuals should support actual free trade coffee, such as Thrive, and deter from the products labeled as fair trade that are subtly regulated and produced by producers and sellers. Try now to imagine a growth and development model, and as we measure how a developing nation can become a wealthy and prosperous one, we must ask ourselves, is it our goal to keep a majority of the population in agriculture? The answer is no. This is because agriculture is often more difficult to specialize in, and furthermore, does not create a consumer culture to fit the modern paradigm. Fair trade policy goals are headed in the right direction, but it is important that consumers realize that fair trade label is a brand generating increased revenue with small returns to the impoverished migrant workers. Instead, we as consumers must advocate for the organizations such as Thrive and the private and foreign sectors of government intervention that actually help to fuel the growth in these developing nations by providing them with resources necessary to cultivate coffee more productively, as well as alleviate a significant amount of their impoverished economies. This presentation has been made with help from the Global Exchange, Fair Trade USA, the Huffington Post, the International Coffee Organization, Global Research, the Econ Talk Organization, the Stanford Social Innovation Review, with special thanks going to Adobe and Prezi. Participants in this video are Amber Alviola, Justin Colvin, Taylor Johnson, and Alec de Watteville.